Hey everybody, welcome to the Best Family Homestead. Out on the back side of the property today. Never really have done a video back here before. You can see this side, this back part here. You've seen the pine trees where the goats are. This is the back side. This is all my hardwood area. One of these days I'll get the goats in here to clean this out. But what I have here, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, so there's this huge ditch here, and there's really not enough of a watershed for water to come to make the ditch this massive. I mean, it gets big as we go further down. And I think that at some point in the past, there was probably a spring house or something here. I've played around trying to, because when it's wet, it definitely, water comes up out of the ground. So it's been dry for, I don't know, 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. Only a little bit of rain. So what I want to do is see if I can dig down and hit the spring head, and it might be a little bit up there. So I'm just going to start digging, because I would like to dig out a spring house, or dig out the spring if I can get to the spring head, and then lay up a little spring house so I have water besides just the well, especially back here for watering the goats and stuff. So it's I was thinking I'll do something fun today that I wanted to do that won't be too hard, but now that I'm holding the shovel in my hand and looking at it, I think maybe I picked poorly.
We need to bring that excavator over here.
I know.
I was using on the farm.
Well, that is one thing where I'm hoping soon to get the backhoe attachment and stuff for the Kubota. I know someone's gonna be like, oh, why didn't you bring the Kubota back there? Well, the bucket doesn't really do a good job digging, and I don't really want to cut any of my hardwoods to get back in here. So we'll just do it the old-fashioned way, I guess. So let's dig for a few minutes and see if we can get some water. Well, the one time I had dug here, it was a little bit more wet where I had water bubbling up. So we're just going to let that set and see if anything even starts to leach in there. If it starts to get more wet, we'll see. Probably need a little bit bigger equipment to come back here and try and dig it out. And it could just be a wet weather spring that only pops up when it's wet, like Robert was talking about. But while we're out here,
no, let's take a tour of the property. You said you've never shown back here on video. So how many acres do you have?
about 7.
7 acres.
Yep, not a huge piece, but it's good enough for a homestead.
That's right.
Like I said, this all where the goats are, I'm going to clear over the next few months to make pasture. And then all this, I'm going to leave in the hardwoods. Some real pretty big oak trees, and that, my friends, is one of the things you got to watch out for when you're sawmilling, or like with our sawmill, or cutting a tree down on an old homestead. And you can look up, and who knows how many years ago. Well, let's see, that did go all the way through my foot. It just barely broke my shoe.
I had the camera pointed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, right. Don't worry, we both stay very current on our tetanus shots.
Yes, we do.
But you can see that's an old deer stand.
Oh yeah.
That had to be what that was.
Yeah, but yep, I see the spike. So yeah, if we were cutting into that, that'd be a bad day for the sawmill.
You hit a chainsaw with that, and I would get hurt, but definitely want to do some damage. And same thing with the sawmill. You hit a spike that big, you don't know it's there. So I'll probably come out here and, well, I know it's there now, which I don't ever plan on cutting that tree, but a big white oak, pretty tree. But like most old pieces of property, old homesteads and farms, we do have our old bottles up. I haven't even really went through this a whole lot.
Yeah, this is very, very common on old homesteads, and you see it on, of course, the Old Bird Farm too, is there was no trash service back here. You got to think this place has been here since.
I didn't even realize that was a legit old Schwinn.
Right?
That's going up to the house. So these old, especially the little Schwinn kids bike, those are obviously that one's not really restorable, but it's still cool just because it's got the nameplate there.
It would get hanging on a barn or something.
Yeah.
But these old home sites have been here for 200 years, so people had to do something with their trash up until modern trash services came, and this is what they did with it. So you've got stuff, I think this is probably 60s, 70s era dump here, and there's no telling how old it gets below this stuff.
It does get a little bit older the further that way you go. One of these days we'll have to come back here and start digging down real soon. Actually, it's a good time to come back here because of the it's cooler, so there's less chance of getting any unwanted bites from reptiles.
There's a tricycle. Western Flyer from Western Auto Stores.
Huh?
Right there.
Western, that is probably 60s.
Yeah.
60s or 70s. You can buy everything at Western Auto.
Right?
Here's another one of those chainsaw killers and sawmill killers that is very common when cutting trees from a homestead. And you can see like how long ago this fence was put on there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 8 inches deep. It goes back in there.
Right? Look at that. So it goes in there, and then you can kind of see the line of the fence where the tree grew around it, because that fence is all in the tree.
Panda bear. I'm curious. I've got a guy who can tell me too. I'm curious about how. Whoa! You see him?
Oh, a green snake. Here, I haven't seen one of these in forever. Come here. I haven't seen one of these since I was a kid. Come here, guy. There you go.
Kind of freaked me out a little bit because the tree branch started to move. I was like,
right?
why is the tree moving?
Come here. There you go. One of the most harmless snakes.
Oh yeah. Bug eaters.
He's reversing. He's putting it in reverse.
He's like, no thanks.
Come here. I ain't gonna let you get away that easy. There you go.
You go, well, what you think or what I think are
right
two very different.
Come here, unattach yourself here. There you go, you're mine now. You are all mine.
Panda bear.
Yep, these are.
That's a cool little snake.
Yeah, they are.
The ones that scare me more than anything are the copperheads, because you cannot see them and they're territorial. They won't necessarily run away. But I don't ever hurt the snakes unless there's one getting chickens or something.
Hey,
Oh,
kitty cat.
and this is an odd cat. It almost never really goes up around the other cats on the porch. This is our wood cat. She lives back here. She'll follow you around anytime you're on the property. But she this is her home. She stays back here in the woods all the time. She goes in with the goats and eats goat food. Very unusual cat. Robert's got his new friend for life.
Yeah, thankfully we've got our guardian cat here with us.
I know,
to
right?
alert us to all the snakes that we might not want to play with. Lead the way, kitty. So there's an old road bed out here too, right?
Yes, we're right now coming up on it. That's what I was doing. So you can see the cut point here. And from what I've been told through Civil War, this road was back here up till I think around the turn of the century when the Fortune Hole Road was put in. Well, I guess sometime around when the church and all that was put in, but this was the original road, so probably this road's older than that, because I think that road back there was in the 1880s probably. But this was the original road, and this will be one place we can come through here and do some metal detecting. Watch your step.
Never mind that. Whoops.
Now that's not wisteria here. We don't have the wisteria, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, we better never. Yeah, this is the original roadbed. And legend has it, and it could or maybe not be true, but supposedly the Confederate gold that left Charleston, wherever, I don't remember exactly, I don't want to give wrong information, but it was supposed to have traveled through this county and possibly on this road, because it was documented coming through here, going through Talbot County. So it definitely could be maybe a gold Confederate coin somewhere around here.
The last known location of the Confederate gold was in the Iron Bank in Columbus, Georgia, which is 30 miles away from here. So
Terry named it the marriage tree. So what it is this part is black gum, and this is white oak, and they grew together. I think it's really cool. And one day I will be, if it ever starts to not look real great, I will be taking and cutting this and slabbing it and making it a table.
that is cool right there.
But it's going to stand as long as it can. Yeah, that's so cool. That's actually when we were just first looking to buy the place a few years back. That's one of the things she thought she fell in love with was that tree. But yeah, it's a lot bigger really than you'd think. Just a few acres. Here's another one. This is pretty cool. This fence is quite as old, but this is a black oak, and it's or a southern red oak, and they grow pretty slow, especially back here, and you can see darn near through the middle.
Yep.
I don't like putting stuff in the trees. I did over there where the goats are and those pines, but ever since I put that up, that was always temporary. So that's always been a plan to knock down clear all those pines out. And see, this is a muscadine. Luckily I've got good vines around here. That's a muscadine grape. I got a bunch of them, but unfortunately the grapes are always way up there. So I've got to plant some.
Muscadines are one of my favorites.
I love them. Yeah, they're delicious.
Especially when you turn them into wine.
Yeah. They're not like normal grapes. they grow individually, you know, so you can't like pick a cluster of them.
Right.
You know, you gotta pick one at a time. It's such a pain, but they're so delicious. Yeah, back here, like I said, this is the backside looking at the goats. So pretty much this and all those pines are going to be cut down this winter. So in the spring or summer, we can start building a called a pecker pole barn. It's just where you use the round logs. I'm gonna build a couple barns back here, log barns. And so hopefully soon this will all just be a pretty pasture, and I have my woods there, have a place for the garden, and we've still got our friend here. What's he doing, huh? This isn't my part of the property. This is her part of the property.
Right.
This back corner, part of this I'm gonna sow in clover. Cause I'm gonna be getting my beehives this spring. I'm gonna put once this is all cleared, start putting my beehives, now especially now that back there's cleared. There'll be a lot of wildflowers and stuff back there, and sow clover up here, and get some beehives back here to help everything out. And it's all pretty back there, and then you walk up to my mess. I'm a I don't consider myself a hoarder, because I still throw stuff out sometimes. Definitely pack rat. Yeah, probably. You could accuse me of that. Oh, but like, see, here's some of the cool stuff. This is why I just can't get rid of it. So this, I picked this up at the scrap yard. Nothing but the end of a big wire spool. But I was thinking, definitely could do something cool with that.
Yeah.
And then I've got another one that's just the spokes there. And those were old riding lawnmower crates that the lawnmowers were packed in. So I'm going to use those to make tables out of. I made a few tables. You can kind of see my trusses when they remodeled the welding shop at Family Homestead. Like I was able to get some of these big pre-made trusses for something. I don't know what.
Big steel like that's always good to have.
Oh yeah.
Steel prices are going up too. So
I got my some stuff I scavenged when I was in the Army off of the ranges that they use for target practice. Got my old deuce bumper here. I'm trying to fix the winch, but it was too far gone. But what am I going to do with that? I don't know. And then we've got the bane of mine and Robert's existence there, a Jeep. And that's a project. It was my Jeep and then my little brother's Jeep. My little brother passed away and I got it back. And I actually drove this thing a lot for a long time. But we always talked about doing a chop top. And I kind of got in a hurry after he passed away. I'm like, I'm gonna get it done. And then I was trying to drive it and work on it, and so now I've kind of got to restart. But one day it's gonna be cool. One day. Hush, 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 hush. And then we got our best family homestead, which is about to get rearranged and put in its second temporary location. We're running out of time. It's almost Thanksgiving. We gotta get this thing ready for its first set of visitors. And then this tractor here, this is a 1948 8-inch Ford. And my grandfather bought this when he got back from Korea. It was the first tractor he bought in 1952 or 3, I think is when Papa bought it. It runs like a champ, but it started having little clutch issues. So Robert's 9N and my 8N are both down for the count at the moment, and hopefully we'll get together and get them fixed and running again.
Just bring this over to the farm and drop it off there. I'll get it running for you.
Yeah, just hopefully just a little adjustment stuff with the clutch there, and
yeah.
But I want to clean it up real good and put it up in front, make a little shed for it up in front of the house, just because it's pretty and heirloom. And then we got our goat playground, which is another thing we're gonna get started back on here shortly to give them some more fun. Ooh, Walter, that's my magical climbing billy goat that should not be in there. So we're about to go back to your side. And big fat Esme finally dropped her triplets.
Yeah, new babies on the new baby goats.
They're back on that tarp right there. Oh, we got to build a new log barn because the goats need new digs. Their digs are kind of falling apart, but they were never supposed to be permanent. They were just for a temporary shelter. And then I keep building temporary shelters. Oh, there we go. It's time to eat. And actually, one of those under there is Crush. She's like, nope.
Right.
Well, that's the nice thing about goats. Goats wean really early because they start getting teeth and start headbutting mom and they get annoyed. But they're already eating hay and stuff. So. Alright, well, there was a little tour of the property, and we'll go check on the spring here in a little while. But now it's time to, I guess, get some real work done.